Now, that was a brief introduction, okay? We will be going over in the upcoming days, the sanctuary, because it says the sanctuary was cast down, the daily sacrifices, and it was trodden under. Understand? So we have to talk about that. We'll have to talk about the 23-day prophecy, right? And then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. But before I leave, I need to address a particular point, okay? And I don't want to deliberate it too long because I don't want anyone to think that we're just talking about Daniel. We're talking about the evidence of Jesus's soon return, the way, the truths, and the life. He is going to return. He is coming. It's evident, right? And so, how do you know? I'm sure there are more verses, and I'm still looking for more. One, we know that prophecies come from God, and He uses His prophets to relay messages. But because the message is there, some people choose not to believe because they don't believe in God. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Okay? If you're not reading the Bible, you're not even keeping yourself in a state of readiness for Jesus' return. And when you learn things in the Bible, you're supposed to share. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't be greedy. We are in a war. Well, a battle. The war is over, but we're still in a battle to win souls from the kingdom of Satan and bring them into the kingdom of heaven. We need to extract folk. And so in the book of Numbers, it says that if there's a prophet among you, God will speak to him in visions and dreams. Okay, Numbers 12, I think 6. In the book of Joel, it said in the last days, right? God is going to pour out his spirit on all flesh. Joel chapter 2, 28. It might be like 27, 26, 27, 28, 29. Read it. It says that God will pour out his spirit on all flesh, and your men shall have dreams, and your young men have visions. And I think it says that the women will prophesy. So, what I am trying to get at is let us not take this for granted. Many before us had opportunity to hear information and did not take the warning seriously, heard prophecy and did not take the warning seriously. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to give you an example found in Luke 22. Okay? Luke 22. Luke 22. Specifically focusing on the upper room. Okay? Between Luke 22:31 to like 34. Okay? 31 to 34. And I want to talk a little bit about Luke 22:14 to 16. In this particular spot, Jesus is letting his disciples know, the apostles know, that his demise is coming. His crucifixion is coming. He's about to be sacrificed. He's about to be crucified. And the whole time he is speaking to them, they're maybe saddened, maybe not truly understanding what he's saying. I don't want to believe that they're nonchalant. I just want to believe that they are not truly understanding his purpose on earth. At the time that he is telling them this information, they're not understanding his purpose on earth. Okay? And so I'm going to read 15. It says 22:15, Luke 22:15. And he said to them, with desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. Matthew, Mark, Luke all talk about the past, the Last Supper. And it seems like the disciples are just not understanding Jesus's purpose on earth. Second thing I want to point out is that he is telling them this as they go towards Jerusalem. Let's go to Luke. Well, actually, he's telling them that when they're in the upper room. Forgive me. He is telling them this when they're sitting down in the upper room. Okay, they've already acquired the place. They're sitting down in the upper room. Luke 22:31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen the brethren. And he said, Lord, I am ready to go with thee, both into prison and to death. And he said, I tell thee, Peter, the cock shall not crow this day before thou hast thrice denied that thou knowest me. This is a prophecy, whether you want to believe it or not. This is a prophecy. It might not be a prophecy that it's like our prophecy that is taking years to be fulfilled, but it's a prophecy. Jesus said he will return. It's prophetic and it's true. Sometimes we are too maybe close to see what God is trying to show us. Constantly, God is giving his children, giving humanity opportunity to accept him, opportunity to see what he desires to do in their lives. Okay? And so Daniel, although it's a bigger and larger type of prophecy, this on a very minute level was a prophecy. Because as far as Peter was concerned at this time, he was ready. One thing we knew, Peter said, I'm ready. I'm ready to go with you to prison or to die. Maybe he was seeing Jesus as a conquering king. That was what he saw a few days before, a few hours before, when he was on a horse and everybody was saying, Hosanna in the highest, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Maybe he was seeing that. We all have ideas of how the end of the world is going to be. The only one that matters is the one that God tells us is going to be. We all have concepts in our minds given to us by different preachers, different entities. I encourage you to read, because it only matters what we have in the Word. God has prepped us for what is to come. Jesus said to him, Satan wants you. I want to tell you today that Satan wants me and he wants you, if you're listening. The more people that choose not to follow Christ, the more he doesn't have to burn. Well, why do you say that? Because literally he is the scapegoat. That Baphomet that people like to praise and worship, half man, half goat, that symbolizes Satan, Lucifer. He would love for you to be ignorant concerning the things of God.